Good evening, children of the Most High. Before I get started into this one tonight, I want to break down a couple of things really quick. Today I was at the club, not the strip club, y'all, Sam's Club. I like to go to Sam's Club every chance I get. Give me an excuse to go to Knoxville or Johnson City, and I'm going to Sam's Club. But anyway, I was away, and I had my wife drive most of the time, so that I could do some messages and things. And but I'm going to talk briefly about a few things. We're going to get right off back into this. First off, the channel. I'd like to talk about the channel just a minute. There's over 16,000 subscribers, and a couple of days ago we broke 500,000 views. It's 535,000 something. So yeah, that's really good. And we're still going. They ain't shut us down yet, and I'm going to continue to go. Hopefully we can get all this done. And a good indication that this is a go, y'all, is if this channel stays up. I know they like to shut down things that they'll say that it's bad information or it's misinformation or whatever, and they shut it down. If this stays open, it's because they're going to make money on this. They know they're going to. They can. Once they start thinking about this, they'll realize that this is the way to go. We can make lots of money doing this. 35% is a good way to do it. And you're not trying to hide it from them. You're giving it straight up. Here you go. As much as they fight around trying to get people to pay their taxes, this is a way to do it without having to fight. So the channel's doing real good, and I wanted to touch on that for just a minute. Messages, y'all. I get 300, 400 messages a day in emails and in Messenger. I'm trying to stay up on top of that. A lot of the questions that I get is in Messenger. Well, in the comments on the channel are, what's your email address? How do I get in contact with you? Send me one of those conditional acceptances. I've put my email address out throughout those comments, folks. If you look and you see somebody else has made a comment and they're asking for my email or how to contact me, look down there, because I probably dropped my email on them, especially in the last couple of videos. I've done that quite a bit. So you need my email? You don't need to ask me. You can just go right and go looking for it in the comments. I'm trying to get to all the messages that I can, and it's a never-ending pile of messages. If I don't answer your message within 4 or 5 days from the day that you sent it, the answer's in the videos. Okay? And I'm just going to have to start screening these messages a little bit more. And so if you don't get a message from me within 4 days or so, then the answer you seek is in the video. Most of them are. I've said this multiple times. The last thing I wanted to mention before I get into the completion of the conditional acceptance is yesterday I spoke with Rose, a very interesting young woman. She had told me a little bit about herself and what she's doing, and she is part of the administration, her and her partner Jason, I think, and they're with a guy, they call him Crow. He had a video on YouTube years ago. Apparently it just went totally viral. So he started doing his thing, and then they started censoring his YouTube channel. And so he got the idea, I'm out of here, forget it, I'm gone. And he went out and created his own server, and he's got his own podcasts and his own website. If you guys are interested, go to Crow, like the blackbird, crow with 2 R's, 777. There's a free thing that you can do. There's a monthly subscription if you're interested. I spoke with them a couple of days ago, and I talked to Rose yesterday for quite a long time. And the material that they offer in their on their page and in their videos is right where you all are at. Those of you that are interested in this. She mentioned names that I was familiar with, that guests that they've had on, their guest hosts or guests that came on and spoke with the host, and some of them I was familiar with. We talked a little bit, and then I got a call yesterday from Rose, and a real special lady. It really was a pleasure talking with her. I look forward to talking with her again. I'm going to be doing a podcast with their show, and if you all are interested, it's like a 2-hour podcast. I may do a couple of them. I'm not quite sure how that's going to go down. I'm working on some bullet points right now to discuss on their show, and so I'm kind of looking really forward to that. They have an audience, a large audience, and I skated around on their webpage there. A lot of interesting information, folks. And like I told Crow, I said, I don't agree with everything that all these gurus out here have to say, but most of what they're saying, they're right about. Let's get over all the little crap and stop hacking on each other, and get together. And I understand. I told them I understand why they do what they do. They got to get paid. Some folks got to get paid. You can't get out here and do this stuff for free. Not everyone's a multimillionaire and can get out and do stuff like this. So I totally understand. The only thing that I do disagree with is don't get me out here and get me to pay a bunch of money and then leave me hanging. If you're gonna spend a lot of money doing something, then they need to come through. The guy that I was doing the conditional acceptance with, he was charged $6,500. He needed the money. I didn't. That's why he did what he did. Sometimes you're worth your keep. But don't leave these folks. I'm asking you all you gurus out there, to, help these folks out. Don't leave them hanging. They're paying you good money for the headache that you're getting from them. So coddle them and do whatever it takes to get them through your process. If you're not got some bullshit process out here, you're just scamming people for, help them through it. Because see, when you dump them, they come to me and they go, hey man, what do you know about this process? And start rattling off a bunch of stuff, and they want me to fix your problem. They're guru guys. Don't abandon them. You took on the job of helping these folks and doing for them. See it through to the end. But anyway, I'm going to be on that podcast, and I'm looking forward to it. They're going to probably help me stay a little more focused than I generally am in these videos. I kind of look forward to that too, because I do intend to ramble like I'm doing now. So what we're going to do now, folks, is finish up this conditional acceptance. And I'm also going to do a video tonight on the lien security, how to create the lien security. I got to thinking about that, and I think that's the best way to go. You won't be doing the UCC 1s and the 3s, because I'm not giving your state any ammunition. You don't have to do that. You can create your own lien securities without the UCC, and then you can assign those. And that's the two things I want to get into tonight. And then tomorrow, what I'm going to do is do the assignment document and try to get into the contract. I have a American Legion meeting that I got to go to tomorrow. They want me to get involved with their honor guard. We got one at the DAV, and they want me to get involved with theirs. It's something I enjoy doing. I hate going to funerals, but I like showing the honor that these veterans deserve. Even though their country's a shithole, they still put their ass out there for their country. And they did it with good intentions. So I enjoy doing that. It's a somber thing to do, but I do enjoy doing it. But anyway, let's get into the contract. Back into the conditional acceptance. Last night I finished the part with the conditions, and tonight I'm going to finish this one right here. And you're saying check out all these conditions, meet all these conditions. Then if you don't, if on the other hand you, the accused, cannot produce these documents and verifications in the time allotted, allowing for a reasonable extension if requested in writing, stating the specific time needed, and since your documentation witnesses, amongst other facts, addressed in this conditional acceptance to your offer that you, the accused, did willfully and knowingly were seeking to deprive me of my rights and property through the crimes of treason, conspiracy to commit treason, fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, extortion, conspiracy to commit extortion, theft, unjust enrichment, and conspiracy to impersonate a peace officer and a judge, and embezzlement, amongst other crimes and tort actions, both against me and the trust, all caps RJL, you hereby contract to the following. Now what we got here is 4 points, okay? And I'm going to work with these one at a time. Number one, for the injuries against me, the beneficiary, the trustees, and their principals are presently indebted to me for $6 million, no cents, jointly and severally. That's together and severed. In the money of account of the United States, Article 1, Section 10, where it states, no state shall make anything but gold or silver coins as tender in payment of debts. I said that in the first video. That's where you're using gold and silver to buy stuff. You constitutionally own it when you use gold and silver. If you have no gold and silver coins, then I will receive without prejudice. Federal Reserve notes, a bank draft, or the like, in lieu of the gold and silver coins, for the sum total of the sum total. Furthermore, witnessed through this conditional acceptance, you willfully and knowingly injured me, so I have authority to create a claim of lien. Okay, and that's footnoted. And the footnote in that, if you read this, well, a lot of you already have read this document, is the ability to place a lien upon a man's property, such as to temporarily deprive him of his beneficial use, without any judicial determination of probable cause, dates back not only to medieval England, but also to Roman times. United States Court, 1969, that's Snydash versus Family Finance Corporation, 395 U.S. 337 and 349. Okay, that's where you got the right to do this, and it's in this contract. And what you're saying is because you didn't answer these conditions, you're giving me your power of attorney. You allow them 10 days, but you also say that allowing for a reasonable extension if required in writing. So these people could actually write you within 10 days and say, hey, man, we're trying to meet these conditions. We really, really are. But we need more time to meet condition J or M, C, and F. We need a little more time. And we'll give it to you. If you need a little more time to give me the on-ledger and off-ledger account of the trust since its inception, I sure will give it to you. How much time do you need? I would love to find out how much is going into that trust every year. Exactly. How much is in it? That's a question a lot of y'all ask. How do I know how much is in my trust? Well, when you're 65, you can go in there and get an on-ledger and off-ledger account. Or when you turn 18, you can go in there and say, I don't wish to continue to move in this trust action. I was a minor and unable to sign a contract. Now I want the on-ledger and off-ledger account. If you're savvy enough, you're 18-year-old savvy enough to go in and do this, you might find out that your child's a multimillionaire. And then they can find out how much is going in there. Now, when you do these and say this one here's for $6,000 or $6 million, and there's 5, so that's $30 million. You're going to get 65% of that. Now, if they don't pay you the 65%, then the only place it could have went to is in your trust. So 65% of $30 million is in your trust. Now you become a real secured party creditor. You're a secured party, but to become a secured party creditor, you have to know that I could get in here and do this. I can write these letters of credit. Like y'all with those $100 million bonds. Once you do this, and the bonds are genuine, you're not going to hear from the Treasury in 45 days. You're going to know that the bonds are genuine. And that because you didn't get the money in 45 days, the only place it could have went is into your trust. And now they know that you know. Then you write the letters of credit. I'll get into that at the end of this whole thing. But I stopped there with claim and lien. So I have the authority to create a claim of lien against you each and file a financing statement against you each supporting my lien as I deem necessary to protect me, my property, and my rights if needed at any time. Okay? You just heard me say it. You're saying that you got a right. I have authority to create a claim a lien against you each. And then the word and. Okay? And. File a financing statement, which is the UCC one, against you each in supporting my lien, as I deem necessary to protect myself, my property, and my rights if needed at any time. If you think about the language in that sentence right there, it's saying that you can. It's not saying that you're going to. That's how we did this in prison. We put in there that you can, we can do a financing statement if we deem necessary. Okay? The language in here is where it's going to get them at. It says, additionally, in order to facilitate my rights under the conditional acceptance and security agreement, you agree that I have your power of attorney or authority to file anything to bring about the payment of this debt and protect me, my property, and my rights, and that you have no right of action or recourse in any action at law, action in equity or admiralty, or any other law herein written or implied against me or my filings. They're going to contractually agree that they cannot come after you. That's another reason why they couldn't let this in there. If they would have let it into the case, then it says right here in the contract that they had no right to do that. They had no right. You gave me your power of attorney, and you agreed that you're not going to come at me any which way at all. And yours will work the same way in the legal realm. Yours will be working the same way. It'll be working the same way when you go after the dealership or the finance company. They're not going to be able to take legal action against you if you do this on a mortgage and they try to get you in there to foreclose on you. They've contractually agreed that they won't do that. You're going to go in there with the power. Yeah, well, I don't even know why we're in here, dude in black robe. These pricks freaking contracted with me that they wouldn't even do this. They're a violation. They're committing fraud. That's where it's at, folks. The language, man, is crazy powerful. Additionally, you agree that you grant me your power of attorney or authority to me, Ronald-James Lyons, so that I am able to collect the damages through a lien, UCC1, UCC3, Treasury Forms 1040V and 1040 and 1040A and 1040 OID. Doesn't say that you're going to do it. It just says that you can. Additionally, you agree that every year an additional set of liens can be filed with the Treasury if such injury to me persists on a yearly basis. It is understood that though a Treasury Form 1040 is for Tax 2 or Tax Class 2, and a 1099A and 1099 OID are Tax Class 5, I do not know any other way of filing this debt for collection other than using these forms, so I use them without prejudice. Okay? Think about that, you all. The 1040 that you file every year is in Tax Class 2. The 1099 series, which is the one that you file if you're a private contractor, okay? That's also in Tax Class 5 along with the W-2s and the W-4, you W-4 guys, okay? You can't work between two tax classes. And the 1040 is Tax Class 2. And if you look at what Tax Class 2 is, it's a gift tax or an inheritance tax. So when you file your 1040s, that document is going to the Treasury or the IRS. And the IRS is going, oh man, here's another 1040, man. This is a good old United States citizen right here. Look at here. They just gifted us their money. The taxes you're paying are gifts. That's why when you read the definition, a tax is a contribution imposed. And that's why it's in Tax Class 2. Because you're gifting your money, people. Stop. I don't know how many people have sent me messages and emails. Hey, man, I got this problem, man, with my taxes. Can you help me do my taxes this year? No, I'm not going to help you do your taxes. Because they're not yours. Stop gifting your freaking money, people. Stop being tricked into gifting your money. Stop it. Yeah, let me get off that little rant. But use them without prejudice. Use them without prejudice. That's number one. Number two, the rest of these are short. If at any time or place I need the identification, identifying me as the beneficiary of the trust, RJL, after you have suspended said identification, you are liable to me jointly and severally for $6 million and no cents, dollars in the money account of the United States of America. What that's saying right there, folks, is this guy here was a senior master mechanic for Ford. He had to have a driver's license because he would test drive cop cars. The city of Morristown had their cars worked on there. So he'd have to test drive cop cars around after working on them. He had to have a license. But you need to understand that here's what a license really is. It's permission from a competent authority to do an act which would otherwise be illegal, a trespass, or a tort. But really what a license is, it belongs to the trust. It's a trust action. Why? Because you put your social security number on the application, making it a trust action. So what he's saying right here, this is what a license really is. It's a photographic representation of the beneficiary, used for identification in trust matters. That's what it is. Do you have a license? No, but I have a photographic representation of the beneficiary of the trust for all to be identified as for all trust actions. Yeah, y'all want to drive without a license and all this crap. Yeah, I dig it, man. I did it myself for years. Just basically for confrontational reasons. I wanted confrontation with these police. But I figured there's a better way to do it. Take the trust action. Create the trust action. The cop pulls you over. Let me have your license. I can't give you my license, but I'll give you a photographic representation of the beneficiary of the trust so you can finish this trust action. Officer, what are you going to do that's going to benefit the trust? If you do anything that doesn't benefit the trust, you're malfeasing in office. And I will conditionally accept your ticket. Yeah, hell yeah, give me that thing. I'm conditionally accepting your offer. And then the Treasury's going to lien you for $6 million. So that was that. Number 3, or when I go to get an updated identification that you title driver's license, I receive any difficulty obtaining this identification, I use without prejudice, designating that I, Ronald James Lyons, am the beneficiary of the trust, RJL. You are liable to me jointly and severally for $6 million and no cents, dollars in the money of account of the United States of America. And number 4, if I receive any injury in relationship to traveling in my automobile or any other automobile or any other conveyance you describe as a motor vehicle or otherwise therein, your corporate security guards, that's what cops are, the corporate security guards, identified as law enforcement officers, demand me the identification herein, addressed under threat of or actual assault, under threat or actual arrest, and or under threat of or actual imprisonment to you commit any tort action against my rights anywhere, including seizing my automobile or any other conveyance you describe as motor vehicle in this country, You agree henceforth that you are liable to me jointly and severally for $6 million and no cents, dollars in the money of account of the United States of America. Okay, folks, when you do this here and you do this thing, you don't have to give them another conditional acceptance. They've already contractually agreed that you can just go right ahead. You got their power of attorney. Go right ahead and create the lien securities and send them on to the Treasury every year. That's why when I put this all down on child support, they stopped messing with me altogether. And then I sent them the coupon. Bam, we're done. I never heard from them again. That was 5 years ago. And then at the bottom, at the end of it, you're going to do an avouchment. Okay. And then you'll notice that there's a spot for a notary. Right? When you go in to have these notarized, all you got to do, folks, is take the back sheet of every one of these. This guy had 5 people and 2 witnesses and himself. He took 8 of them in there. He had them all notarized. You're going to keep one for yourself because you're going to send that in to the Treasury. They're going to need wet signatures. They're going to need your green cards, the real ones, the wet signature ones. They're going to need the wet signature of the contract. They're going to need a wet signature for every one of the claims of liens that you're going to send in. And I'm going to get into that here in just a minute. In the avouchment, I, Ronald-James Lyons, do hereby avow that based upon my firsthand knowledge and information relayed to me from research, this conditional acceptance is true, accurate, and correct to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief, and conveyance the conditions set forth under this conditional acceptance as intended by me, the man, and by me, the human, trustor settler, to the human to and human beneficiary of the Social Security Sesticate Trust, RJL, in all caps, as herein designated. And the signature line, folks, underneath it you'll see on the signature line there, right? His human name, beneficiary. Sign it that way. Some people say, well, what color ink should I use? I've heard all the definitions for all the different colors. I've heard blue is commerce, and red is life, and black is death, and back when we were doing this, I was signing with purple ink, because purple is the color of royalty, the color of royalty, and I am a king. I am an heir to the kingdom of heaven. But that's not really necessary. It doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what color it is. I see everybody doing this thing with the stamps, and you got to use a gold pen to go across the stamp. And yeah, I've seen all that. I've seen all that too. But I don't think it's really necessary. Why? Because I've done these with black ink, and the Treasury's snatched them up. And you don't hear from them in 40 days. And also, too, if black is death and you're dealing with the trust, the straw man is dead. It's really dead. It's not a living being. So you could. I don't think it matters at all, folks, what color you sign anything on. What really matters is that you use the word beneficiary. You guys are probably getting sick of hearing beneficiary by now. I know my wife is. My family is. Yeah, but that's important, folks, because everything revolves around commerce, and everything's a trust action. All right, folks, I'll be right back with you here. I'm going to take a short break, and I'm going to get into the lien securities.